Welcome to Embracing Love. Let's begin this week with the meditation. So we can close our eyes, start to settle in with the body. Let's take a deep cleansing breath, inhaling to fill the lungs. And exhale, releasing, letting go. Do that one more time, breathing in to fill the lungs, feeling the chest expand. And exhale. So now let's begin to check in with the body. Let's start with our feet. Feeling our feet connecting us to the earth. Start by wiggling all our toes, feeling each individual toe, noticing it, and allowing the toes to relax. Now bring your awareness further up the feet, noticing the balls of the feet, the arches of the feet, the heels, the bony back of the heels, tops of the feet. Moving up into the ankles, feeling the bony parts of the inner ankle, the outer ankle. Allow the ankles to relax, allow the feet to relax. Let's continue moving our awareness up the legs, up into the calves, noticing the calf muscles, the shins at the front. Let's squeeze those calf muscles tight and then relax them, allowing the legs to relax. Now become aware of the knees, starting with the crease of the knee and the back, inside of the knee, the outside, the front of the knee, the kneecap. Allowing the knees to relax. And bringing your awareness up into the upper legs, the thighs, the hamstrings, in the inner thighs, the outer thighs. Let's squeeze those big thigh muscles and then relax them, allowing the legs to completely relax. Now notice your hips. Feeling your seat, the outer hips, the back of the hips, the lower back, crease at the front of the hips, and the pelvis, the lumbar spine, the abdomen. Let's contract those abdominal muscles and relax them. Beginning to notice the internal organs, the intestines, kidneys, the liver, stomach. Feeling the lower ribs, sides of the ribs, back of the ribs. Continue moving your awareness up into the chest, sides of the chest, the front of the chest, the collarbones, shoulder blades at the back. Feeling your lungs inside, your heart inside. Allow the chest to relax. Now notice the shoulders, outside of the shoulders, the armpits, tops of the shoulders. Let's roll the shoulders up to the ears and down and back, allowing them to remain relaxed. Now become aware of the upper arms, the triceps, the biceps, the inner arms, the outside of the arms. Let's clench those upper arm muscles and then allow them to relax. Now noticing the elbows, crease on the inside of the elbows, the inside, the outside, the bony protrusion on the back of the elbows. Allowing those elbows to relax. Now feeling the lower arms, the inside of the forearms, the outside. Let's contract those forearm muscles and then allow them to relax. Now noticing the wrists, inner wrist, the outer wrist, sides of the wrist, allowing the wrist to relax. Noticing the hands, the palms of the hand, the back of the hand, thumbs, knuckles, fingers. Let's wiggle all those individual fingers and allow the hands to completely relax. Now let's bring your awareness up to the throat. Feeling the inside of the throat, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. Maybe slightly lengthening the neck. And noticing your chin, the lower jaw. Maybe wiggle the jaw back and forth. Allowing the jaw to relax. Feeling the tongue, the teeth, mouth, the nose, cheeks, eyes, your eyeballs, your eyelids, your eyebrows, forehead. Let's scrunch up the face, squeezing it tight, and then relaxing the face. Seeing the ears, the sides of the head, the back of the head, base of the skull. Allowing the head to relax. Finally, noticing the top of the head, the curve of the skull. The very tip of your head, the crown of the head. Allowing that to relax. Let's take another deep, full inhale. Feeling the lungs expand. On the exhale, allow relaxation to wash down your entire body, from the crown of your head all the way through the chest, through the legs, out the feet. Do that one more time, inhaling deeply. On the exhale, allow relaxation to sweep down your body, washing away all stress, all tension, down through your legs, through your feet, into the earth. Do that one more time, inhaling, feeling the chest expand. The exhale, just letting go of everything, all tension, all negativity, all washed down out of your body. Now let's sit here for a few minutes in this state of relaxation. Just noticing all the sounds around you, all the smells. Noticing the thoughts as they arise and pass away. If you'd like to occupy the mind, you can count your inhales, counting up to 5, counting your exhales down to 5. Or you can just sit in silence. When you're ready, you can slowly deepen your inhale. Coming back into the body. How's everyone doing? Feeling nice and relaxed?
Thank you. That was lovely.
You're very welcome. So before I get started, are there any questions about anything in your life? No? All right. The topic I wanted to talk about tonight is, I think I called it the next step in your journey. And so I thought I'd talk about the journey, whatever it is, whether that's a healing journey or a spiritual journey or a self-realization journey. We all think we're on some kind of journey, however we characterize it to ourselves. For me, it was I guess it still is more of a, what started off as kind of a spiritual journey, and it turned into a healing journey. But always there's this idea that there's some place we need to go, right? Something we need to do, something we need to get. And that starts off in life with material things. I mean, we all start off thinking we need material things in life, a job, maybe a family, a place to live, a house, all that stuff, relationships. But if you're here listening to this, you've kind of figured out that all that material stuff only brings you so much happiness, that there's still, even if you've accumulated all those things that you need, all that you want, where you've gotten enough to realize that no matter how much of that physical stuff you get, you're still looking for something. There's still something missing, something we still need to find or do or be or become. And so the first step of the spiritual journey is usually to pretty much just grind away the ego, at least. And I figured this out listening to Alan Watts after I left my spiritual group, and his teachings really helped me make sense of my experiences studying with the teacher and going through kind of the old school hardcore spiritual path, meditating a whole bunch, doing all these impossible dharma tasks, things like that. And so it starts off when someone's looking for a teacher, looking for a journey, it's because they still think there's something they need to do, something they need to get. And so the teacher, a spiritual teacher, will provide a framework for this person to keep looking in these esoteric realms and keep looking spiritually for that thing, and keep giving the student all these impossible tasks until finally the student, after searching and trying and accomplishing thing after thing, finally the student realizes that, or just exhausts themselves and realizes there's really nothing to find, nothing to do, nothing to become. So that's really the first stage of the spiritual path, is usually studying with a teacher, because we still think there's something we need to do, and the teacher gives us all these opportunities to keep looking for that spiritual thing or self-realization thing or whatever you want to call it, until we finally realize that there's nothing the teacher can give us, there's nothing the teacher can tell us that we need to do. And so for me, it was after 10 years of studying with my teacher, and I felt like I wasn't making any more progress. And at first, when you first start with a teacher, you often feel like you're making rapid progress. You often will have these realizations and aha moments and self-discovery, and it can feel like we're making lots of progress. And it's kind of the thing where you get halfway there each time. And so at first you're making these big jumps forward and discovering yourself, finding yourself, or realizing the true nature of the ego. But after a point, those halfway jumps, they get smaller and smaller. And then eventually you're not really making much progress. And so it happened to me after about 10 years of studying with my teacher. And then I went off into the world and started searching for answers through life. And so this happens on the personal individual level. And there's a lot of people like me out there who've been studying with teachers. But this also happens, I think this also happens on a collective ego level. So the collective ego of our human consciousness. And with the rising popularity of spirituality in recent years, our ego has kind of gotten to that point. Our collective human ego. There's a lot of people out there studying on these paths, studying with good, real teachers. And I think it feels like now our collective human ego is realizing that there's only so much a teacher can do for you. I mean, we've all heard, we already know all the teachings, right? Especially if you're watching this, you know all the ideas out there, all things like detachment and the ego, right? You've all heard all these concepts. We all intellectually, we know all this stuff. Our collective ego has absorbed all of these teachings. And then now, with everything going on in the world, with COVID, with the climate crisis, with all these natural disasters, it's kind of like the world, life is grinding away our collective human ego right now. We've got no more choice but to start facing ourselves, looking within, right? If we keep going on the course that we're on, we're gonna keep going until enough calamities happen that we're forced to stop and reevaluate. So the sooner we can all stop and reevaluate, the less calamities, the less bloodshed, the less disasters there's going to be. But it feels like we're in for some more calamities before we have major sweeping awakenings across our human consciousness. And even though there's a lot of people starting to wake up, starting to realize that we have to look within, there's still a lot of people that are resisting that, and a lot of people feeling this pressure that the earth is placing on us and just kind of freaking out and still blaming others, there's a whole lot of blame out there in the world now, especially with the political division among us. Everyone's blaming the other side for all the problems. And so I think as a species, we're at this point where kind of a lot of people like me reached, where we have to start realizing there's the answers are not out there. There's nothing more we need to find. There's nothing more we need to learn. There's nothing more we need to uncover. We just need to start turning within and finding our answers within, finding our peace within. And so I know these are all words you've heard before as well. So I thought we could try a little exercise. So let's close our eyes and just hear these words I'm saying, but also feel the energy behind them. Try to feel the understanding behind them. And just consider for a moment, ask yourself, what if there's no more work you need to do on yourself? What if there's no more healing you need to do? What if there's no more realizing you need to do? What if The only next step is to accept yourself exactly as you are. Accept your life exactly as it is. Accept this crazy, messed up world exactly as it is. And love it all. Love yourself exactly as you are in this moment. Love your life exactly as it is. Love the world exactly as it is right now. What if all your perceived flaws, if all the wounds you think you need to heal, what if all of that will be fixed? All your wounds will be healed, your flaws will be fixed. If you simply accept yourself exactly as you are right now. And feel the love that's inside you, the love that you are, the love that's all around us. Because the original wound at the core of it all, the flaw that's at the core of it all, is when we were born into this physical world. Because it feels like we left the state of love. We left the state of total connection, the state of total bliss. It feels like we left that when we were born. But we didn't really. We're just poking our heads out into this physical world, looking around. But all the love that we could ever want is still inside us now. And it is us, and it's all around us. There's just love. All of it is just love. And all we have to do is love. Let's just sit here for a few minutes feeling that. And if it doesn't feel true to you, then you can place your hands on your heart, either out loud or in your head. Just keep repeating, I love you, until you feel it, until you feel the truth of that in your heart, in your body. You feel the love that you are. When you're ready, you can once more deepen your inhale. Come back to the body. So does that make sense? Any questions, any comments? Do you feel it? Do you sense it in yourself? Love that we all are. Yeah. And do you feel what I feel about how it seems like right now our collective ego is being scrubbed? It's kind of like, it almost kind of feels like, when someone shoves a dog's face in their poop to try to get him to stop pooping inside the house. Kind of feels like that's what Mother Earth is doing to us now.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I loved visiting the radical self-acceptance and really just being with what is and not striving and reaching, but also not any self-flagellation about how you could be doing it better or what had been done in the past. So I think what's hitting me now is the presence that's required to be in total self-acceptance, right? Because you're just with what is. And that's just something that I need to return to over and over again. And I'm not sure it's like my first inclination to approach life or beingness in that way. So I think it's becoming more pronounced. And yes, like the getting ground down in the of the ego and of the collective and realizing, the human community that we are and that we do need to support and be there for each other. I do believe is the greater good and forces that are starting to conspire together. So, in spite of how ugly some of it can get, like what's emerging as a result, I think can be quite profound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think it's going to get uglier before it gets better.
Yeah, you're probably right. So we'll just keep tuning in every Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got a pretty clear message from the universe that we're in for some trials and tribulations.
Mm.
Like other people have been saying the same thing. So I don't know, it kind of feels like there's a shoe just hanging ready to drop.
We need to drop.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe not, hopefully not. Maybe we can start to make some changes in how we're doing things without major carnage. But it doesn't really seem like we're going that way. Yeah, I think it's interesting that, so there was there's a lot of people, quite a few people out there like me who were studying with a teacher, like one of these old school teachers. So there's a lot of people out there like me, like us, going through it, and before now, the past few years, or like the past decade or so, and it's like we're now the sergeants for everyone else out there that's starting to wake up. And there's still the other teachers out there, other like enlightened teachers, like my teacher and like that guy Matt Kahn I talk about, and there's others still, lots of really great teachers out there. And when you talk to them, oftentimes they'll if you hear their background, they've had all these really profound spiritual experiences at a young age. You know, like if you read autobiography of a yogi, you know, Yogananda had all these really profound experiences. And so all those teachers out there, they're like the lieutenants, or they're the officers, you know. And but studying with them can create a sense of separation, because it's like, well, I didn't have these profound out of body experiences as a child, so there's no way I can be what they are, right? And so and naturally studying with these very realized, you know, enlightened, realized beings, these really powerful beings, it's really, really beneficial and really powerful, and really, really helps you move along your path. But it creates this sense of separation, because it's like, how can I ever be like that person? You know, how can I just had this regular life. How can I ever hope to ever be what they are? But so I think that's why there's a value for people like me, that the only difference between me and you is maybe that I've been focused on this for longer. I mean, just at a younger age, all the physical, all the material stuff was not satisfying to me. So that's the only difference between me and you, is that I've been doing this longer, or maybe not even longer, but I've been, it was the sole focus of my life for longer. And so I don't know if that helps. Yeah, but it seems like we're at this point now where a lot of people are starting to wake up, and the more we can encourage that, the more we can help others wake up.
I think in part it's more accessible with the internet, and Headspace is on Netflix, which I've done the first 3 of those with my classes, and they're like, can we meditate every day? But those are like 20-minute sessions, which is a lot when we only have like a 45-minute class. But they like it. So sorry, she's trying to eat my laptop. I'm glad they like it. And some of them fall asleep, but that means they're doing a good job relaxing.
Yeah, that's great that you're exposing your students to that.
And there's a handful that have seen it, but there's stuff on YouTube, and there's apps and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's a little more accessible now than like when I was in high school. I meditated twice with the swim team, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't know how to get into a class, or even where to look for a class, or how I would pay for a class in high school. You know, it just wasn't something that I ever really did until later, when I started using the Calm app.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And even within like the last 10 years, it's the interest and availability of all this stuff has really been skyrocketing. And so that's allowing this wave of awakening to happen. Yeah, there's a great quote from Matt Kahn. It said, imagine there's no one to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do, except be the space that love pours through.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah. So any other questions? Comments? So I know, again, I'm like using these words to try to convey something. It's just more words. But yeah, that's why but I think more and more people are starting to realize the benefit of having their own practice, just carving that time out of your life to sit, and whether it's with an app or whatever, just on your own, mean, more and more people are recognizing the value of that, how beneficial it is, and just allowing themselves the space to feel it. Because we can't understand this anymore. It's beyond, it goes beyond what our brains can understand. All we can do is sit and feel it. All right, so you want to do another meditation? Any requests for a type of meditation, like third eye, heart chakra, breathing?
Something with the colors.
Colors, yeah. All right. Well, how about heart chakra? Sound good? All right. So let's close our eyes. Settle into our bodies once more. Let's take one of those deep cleansing breaths. Inhaling, feeling the chest expand. And exhale. Letting go, releasing. So once more, become aware of your body. Feel your feet, feel your legs, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Be aware of this physical body. Now, so imagine you're just floating in a sea of love. And that can be whatever color feels right to you. Maybe it's like rainbow pastel sea of colors, pinks, purples, yellows, oranges. Just feel yourself floating in this pastel rainbow. Colors swirling all around, love swirling all around you. And as you inhale, start to breathe in those swirling pastel rainbow colors. Feel them swirling into your chest, into your lungs. And as you exhale, imagine you're directing all those colors, all that love, right into your heart chakra, in the center of your chest. If you want, you can place your hands over your heart. It helps you feel it. So we're floating in this sea of love. As we inhale, we're breathing in the love. Seeing the love swirl into our chests, filling our chests with these swirling pastel rainbow colors. And then the exhale, the love is going right into our hearts. So inhale, breathing in love. And exhale, funneling that love right into your heart. Feeling your heart is glowing, swirling love. Filling in all the cracks, all the wounds. Surrounding your heart with warmth and love, and compassion, and healing, and wholeness and completeness. Continue with that visualization while we sit here for a few few minutes. When you're ready, you can slowly deepen your inhale. Rising back to the surface of the sea of love. Even as we come back and open our eyes, remember that we're always surrounded by love. We're always inhaling love. We're always made of love. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. So how was that?
That's good. I haven't done one where I was floating in water. How'd you make that heart on there?
I think it's
Beyond reactions on the bottom of the screen.
It's fun. Part A.
Cool. So any final questions, any final comments?
For me, it was almost not like resourcing yourself. And like I was very scattered coming onto the call. I had done a ton of errands today and I'd been out in the world and I felt a bit, frazzled. And so just taking this time to recenter and to like source yourself from within and like remembering the love that you are. Actually, just I'm a better person coming out of this call than when I came into it. And so that's just like when we talk about the world being crazy, it's like even if just being a little bit calmer, more collected, more heart-centered versus frazzled and like, sloppy with your energy, it's just like I will be better for the rest of the day for having spent these few minutes doing this. So thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love to hear. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the part we can all play in this global awakening and just trying to make the world a better place, trying to ease the suffering, just remembering that we're all love and trying to bring love into every interaction with every person that we have during the day. Yeah, so thank you all. Pleasure seeing you. I'll see you all next time.
Hasta luego.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.